Hello Hero Wars addicts, this is Lucky Charms from Fire and Ice, and today we're going to start a 3-part series that will help you and your guild perform better in Asgard. I'm going to give you tips on how to build better teams and share with you insights we've gained over 8 weeks of consistently defeating Osh at the highest level that will help you organize your guild to achieve overall better results. This is a video of Fire and Ice fighter Dark Titan setting the world record for damage against Osh at level 160. 166 million. Everybody knows about the Isaac, Nebula, Albus meta team. In our guild, we just refer to it as the meta team, and that's the language I'm going to use for the rest of the video series. There's no disputing how great this team is, but for some of you, you're probably starting to notice inconsistent results. One of the reasons for that is how absolutely dependent this team is on Albus landing a big hit. That itself relies on random number generation. I'm going to explain why in a second, and we'll cover that in the other 2 videos in this series. Ultimately, this team has a lot of what we call variance. We don't have to get into college statistics, but we are going to have to go back and look at the bell-shaped curve. Have you ever had this happen to you or a guildmate? That Isaac team that put up 100 million last week goes out and gets destroyed in the first 20 seconds the next week. The inconsistency is aggravating. This is a great example of what I mean when I talk about variance. The average damage for a team falls in the middle of this curve, then variance describes how likely it is for the damage to fall either below the average or above the average. The meta team has a lot of variance, especially at high levels for several reasons. A big one is the randomness of the meteor shower hits that can quickly kill off Isaac or Sebastian, making your million emerald investment in the meta team meaningless. We're going to break down all of the reasons in a later video, but for now I just want to focus on the idea of how inconsistent this team is. In Fire and Ice, we've collected data from all of our fights since the release of Asgard. We've chosen to keep our team composition secret this week, but what you're seeing is real data from our teams against the level 160 boss. Some of these box plots are really wide. They have a lot of variance, and some of them not so much. In order to consistently defeat Osh at a high level, you need to ensure that you get consistent performance out of your teams, so that you can organize your guild in a way that allows them to generate reliable amounts of damage. By planning to use teams that have less variance, you can get consistent results from week to week. This is the technique that we in Fire and Ice have been using to achieve our results in Asgard. Let's put that another way. In order to get optimal performance, you have to reduce the variance of the Isaac team, and you need to build your non-Isaac teams to perform consistently week to week. You might be better off building a team that does a little less damage if it can do that damage consistently every time. So how do we decrease variance? Here are some general rules of thumb that you can follow when building your own teams that are going to give you more consistent performance. None of these are hard and fast. Sometimes you will want your team to generate a lot more damage. Sometimes you're going to want to eliminate the effects of randomness. Hopefully this will help guide your thinking as you build better teams. In Fire and Ice, we have observed that less variance occurs when teams use Axel as the team pet, when they rely on pure damage, and when they have sufficient HP to survive the meteor shower, or when they can be controlled in manual mode. Reliance on blue skills, dodge effects, or combinations of effects that activate simultaneously introduces substantial variance. Reliance on a single hero, or multiple heroes that have to rapidly activate their ultimate ability in sequence introduces the most variance. With the meta team, the use of Albus and automatic mode also introduces a large amount of variance. Similarly, we've observed that different damage types have more or less variance. In high-level play, usually above level 140, pure damage is the most reliable, while physical damage has a high amount of variance. At lower levels, this is a less important factor because Osh's statistics are low enough that any damage type can effectively attack the Keeper and the spheres. This is going to be the topic of our next video in the series. In part 2, we're going to break down the statistics of the boss at every level and discuss some of the choices you might make in team building. If this video was insightful to you and you'd like to see more content like this, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm hoping to be able to get more content out more consistently, and I'd love to hear your feedback on what the Hero Wars community would like to see. Thanks so much for watching.